shotta. I'm going to wear my what's happening, my two people? 216-249-6650. You remember, you need to write that damn thing down. Like, let me see what the phone number is. I should have did doggone. Shout out to Sapo World. Shout out to Ramon Rivas. 216-249-6650. URL. Share this joint. I don't know where to share this sucker at. Same it on Facebook. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. Let's go. 5, 4, 3, 2, and welcome. Welcome back to the Sohigho Gas Copany podcast here on a beautiful Tuesday. 4:20 is when we usually get started, but me and EP just be. Sometimes we be smoking so damn much that we fucking like, oh shit. Wasn't even bad as last week. EP was smoking on the golf course. Then he forgot. Then we came on. But we here, though, as usual, man. I appreciate for all y'all supporting. And afterwards, the views that we keep coming up with, man, I definitely thank y'all. Thank you to the Facebook community logging in on the Voice of Radio. Special thanks to the voiceatradio.com. Voice of Radio, it's my privilege to be kicking off the Tuesday big block. Here on the Voice of Radio, we got Al Porter's Hip Hop Show, and followed by Hot Mess in the Evening. We doing it right. Hot Mess in the Evening. It was a great show last week. Lots going on, you know. Shout out to my girl Nicole over at the cannabis school. I tried. I don't know what else I want to say. The hardest part about doing this podcast to me is the guest confirming. To be honest with you, I really don't have too many more problems besides that. And it's hard to when you study for a show and you got these good questions and then you don't have your resident expert in there. But that's not going to stop us at all. We're going to keep going. Love doing what we're doing. We got a lot like we always do. We talk about education, information, and cultivation on our podcast. So as usual, we're gonna get right into it. And like right now, the big topic here in Ohio is the recreational sale of the marijuana, cannabis for sale by at the medical for recreational use. If people didn't know. If you haven't tuned in to the Ohio and checked our numbers, guess what? 4 days. Everybody like to say, oh, that last week we did good numbers. We did $11.5 million in revenue. Now that's not all profit, 11.5 million in revenue. And when you hear somebody say something like that, you have to be cautious on what they're talking about. Revenue is how much they took in. So revenue is how much cash flow went through their desk. How much of that was profit? In general, in the cannabis industry, I'm gonna say 25 to 30%, and there's other ways to cut the middleman out by having grows yourself. But you got to be proud of yourself. Everybody, like, that was not even a full week, Ohio. Y'all stood up like a champ, went in there and bought that booth. I mean, that bought that weed out, the good medical weed out the dispensaries. And that was a good. It was a couple issues with that rollout. The medical patients felt neglected. The medical patients felt like the recreational dudes is driving up the price. And I know what that is too. That's nothing but, to me, in my opinion, it's just a bunch of people who not even gonna get close to breaking the law. God bless your soul, but they go in there and they gonna buy it all up at those prices. Right now, currently, as we speak, is $40. Will, and this is pre-taxes. What I'm talking about, $40 for 2.83 grams, and you have to be ready for the process. You know, that's the one thing I'm gonna let you guys know here in Ohio. If you didn't have a medical license and you went through the whole experience of going into the dispensary, you have to be ready for that. You have to check in first, show your ID, prove you're over 21 years old, and then after that, you go back to a waiting area where they give you the menu. You should probably already been looking up online for what you really wanted to get. But after you go back in that second tier room, it's like a lounge waiting area. You go sit on couches, the nice ones. You know, I used to go to Herbology over in Cuyahoga Falls. That was my favorite one. I just like it was. They always had Clutch, Buckeye Relief was a good one, and they never really had Glendale. Glendale, I used to go all the way to Sandusky, to the dispo up in Sandusky, and get that. Glendale is out of Akron. They grow some of the most fire, best medical cannabis in town. And don't forget, they got started with Tilt Soil. So if you look up on the YouTube channel, you can see, I don't know, about almost a month ago, I did an interview with Tilt Soil. Tilt Soil right down on St. Clair. I say about 23rd and St. Clair. Tilt Soil, you have to look them up. They're organic here in Ohio. They got together with Glendale. They used to grow organic vegetables and kind of just spent off of that. So if you are looking for topsoil or anything like that, Tilt Soil, especially with their boost, and they have a new line also. So Tilt Soil will get you exactly where you want to go, whether you want perlite in it, worm cat. I don't even know if they have worm casters, but those other amendments, they have some pre-made mixes. But then when they came out with their boost, and I know they have bloom also. They have like two different kinds of thing, but that's Tilt Soil with Glendale. They grow some fire stuff. So if you see those brand names, and start sending in your information for me. I need me a Columbus reporter, a Toledo, every major city. I like y'all to like tap in. I like to give me a nice network of reporters. I got Ramon Rivas, who's gonna be dropping his first report next week. He be going on the road for me. If y'all look back on his shots, he's been going out getting us interviews. He do the Sunday night over at Dunlap's, the open mic comedy night. It's always good. I love the comedians here in Cleveland because they always smoke weed. One weird thing about them comedians is they always roll their own weed up. That's so weird about them. But the dispo weed, I haven't really. I got some back in the day. The only thing I personally would go in there for is some sativa, and it's got to be like a high-end sativa for me. A lot of times the sativas in the dispos right now is half CBD, not half. I say a percentage CBD and a percentage THC. So that's kind of the weed. But they do have some brand names. It's just a process of going. Now, if you've been fortunate enough to go into any of these grow houses, which some of them are available for you to take a tour, when you go in those things, you can see that they really do grow some fire weed. But I think somewhere in the process, and because how the state wants to regulate it and put that bit of testing in between it, it's like slow the process down. So after you get it cured, tested, then they get to brag it and package it all up. So when it leaves the grow facilities, if they are a processor, you have to have a grow facility that is also a cultivator and a processor to be able to get that off. And then you got a driver come distribute that to the different places that they have contracted for. But like with most things, when you got something good, you're going to have high demand. The best products in the medical probably go to like 2 or 3 dispensaries, probably in every city. And what's happening is uh, dispensaries are buying up the whole crop. So if you know some insider information, drop that in the chat. Let us help these people out, man. You call us up at 216-249-6665. Oh, I am interested in anybody who has purchased any of the uh, medical recreational weed out of the medical dispensaries, which I have. It's good quality. Don't get me wrong, but like in Michigan, it's tiers 1, 2, 3, and 4, and I think we headed to that. And right now, because the consumer is kind of happy that we had this availability, the quality got to rise up. I mean, I think the free market here, they just not messing with me. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't think nobody could beat me in the state, hands down. Maybe my nephew every now and then, but we be splitting hairs about what's the best and what's not the best. They are like 1A and 1B. That's because, I think I really have qualified myself as an expert in this field because of longevity. Like, just for real, I think, just personally, not to be braggadocious, I just try a lot more weed. People send me stuff and I check out on my Growmies garden, and I really sample a lot, and I have fine tuned where I don't have to get so messed up that I could give you a great description about what's going on. But as far as right now, I only hear high prices, and you have to go early too. So you people who trying to get an ounce or a half ounce, that'd be 14 grams of cannabis, you got to go early. My opinion, even when it was medical, they only had like an ounce of a few things. Like, that's kind of why I was going over to sativa, because there wasn't a lot of people shopping over there, and I could get a higher quality, fresher batch with a higher sale day. But the state of Ohio is just pushing us right across the border, to be honest with you. I don't think Michigan slowed down, and your local plug haven't slowed down. You go over to the smoke shops here in Cleveland, that looks like where the marketplace is going. West Siders, you got to come on over to 3385 and check us out. And on the east side, it is like several places. And, the customer is getting them right. I mean, they have a lot of variety. They selling, I guess, THCA, and they're doing not bad. So, it is good that we starting to break the stigmatism of this, but it is going to have to be a thing where the price is going to have to come down eventually. But with all of the testing and us getting the laws together, it's going to be a while. I don't think we'll get that price break for about a good I'm going to say 2 years, maybe a little bit faster, because we so greedy. I did not even think that they was going to allow the the dispensaries to sell recreation. It's just a really not the best rollout of the law in the terms of the structure of it. Now, in the terms of my freedom with the plant, I love this rollout. It's like the Wild Wild West. It ain't really no rules. There ain't no penalty to this stuff. You know what the rules is. Don't have more than 2.5 ounces. Be over 21 years old. The concentrate, which is wax, or the distillate stuff, up to 15 grams of that, which is enough to hurt a small army, to be honest with you. That's coming out the stuff we put in the Puffco all of the time. That's what the wax is. And those you could carry up to 15 grams of that. But it's been pretty smooth. I love I actually went to an event, EP and the Voice of Radio crew. We was gonna go over to the Puff Puff Pass this weekend, and EP then went. I missed it. I came at about 11 o'clock, and it looked like it was over with. I wasn't.
It was so freaking hot.
It was hot.
Yeah, it was a nice little spot. It was cool. They just didn't have any air circulating.
That's why everybody bugged out.
Hell, man.
I thought I was gonna make it. I had something else on the schedule, and when I got down there, it said whatever 2047 St. Clair. Yeah, it was over. I saw people pulling out the 15th of St. Clair. That's right. Yeah, 1547.
The food was absolutely awesome.
Oh yeah.
Black dude back there cooking what's that wasabi?
Sushi.
No, not sushi.
Like hibachi.
Hibachi.
Yeah.
Man, oh my God, chicken shrimp. It was so good.
Man,
the food was excellent.
How was the weed?
And people brought their own weed.
BYOB.
Yeah, we sitting around smoking and watching comedy. It was cool. It's a nice little concept.
Yeah.
They just need some air.
Yeah. Well, whenever, to me, if you haven't, to me, I just think this need to be the outdoor lounges. I mean, we got to be respectful of people who don't want their air contaminated. And I just can't imagine. You know how we do. If you smoke some of the stuff I got, you going to get your ass hot anyway. I light your head on fire coming over here messing around. So, yeah, AC is good. But I like that because we got to start breaking the stigmatism of, it's just weed. It is a plant, but I am a proponent of age gating. I do not want my underage daughters really smoking it all. I think they need to get a brain. It's sort of like with alcohol. It's not just for your everyday till you old enough to make that decision for yourself. I think you should let yourself develop. Younger me would have just whooped my own ass for saying some shit like that because I'm being very hypocritical, to be in all honesty. I got started young, but then seeing how much I'm on the couch these days, going to the psychologist, I probably needed something, but I just didn't know how to put that in proper form and how to get to it because everything else, the psychotropic drugs don't do me good. It's like it's not good for me, but the cannabis, as far as my PTSD, I do use it recreational, but I have to use it medicinally. And when I use it medicinally, the last thing I want to do is be any form of high at all. I don't want to be high. I just want relief from, usually it's anxiety. Usually I'm so far ahead or I'm stuck in that place with the PTSD that a little bit of it keeps me going. So it is nice to see more and more events coming up. I'm going to tell you right now, when you people who thinking about, I've been contacted by several chefs about doing, a takeout menu with some infused foods. You guys got to get with somebody who know. Come see me, come see an expert, come see somebody. You do not want to give nobody more than 20 to 35%. I'll say this every week I get on this air, is you have to go low and slow with the edibles. Edibles will tear you up. Everybody is going to have some edible experience where you eat too much. So when you're infusing this food, you have to think about something. So if you make, like, I wouldn't give all of my recipes out, but if you make it something, you almost need a guinea pig. You need to make some samples so you get the precision rice. I think Arden has a good rule of thumb when you making edible oils. Just a good rule of thumb: for every cup of oil, coconut oil, vegetable oil, or whatever you're using to extract your THC out of the cannabis plant into the oil, a good rule of thumb is only 7 to 10 grams per cup of oil. And then follow the recipe as accordingly. So if you was making brownies, don't add the cup of oil. The brownie's gonna be nasty as shit and oily, and it ain't gonna be a good bite. If it say a third of a cup, make a third of a cup. And just make 12 cookies. Because if you, depending on if your weed, and I'm just gonna say roughly, don't take this is just experience. Don't take this to the doctor. I'm not no scientist or nothing, because I don't know all your numbers. But if you can guesstimate your weed is between, say, 21 to 26% THC, 21 to 27. You don't need more than 7. And the higher you get, the less you need, obviously. So 7 grams per cup is what you're trying to shoot for. If you was making brownies or cookies and it was like a dozen cookies per order, and you added that third a cup of oil, that's going to break you out to about 35 to 50 milligrams of THC. And I'm trying to tell you right now, we got the cubes, and I'll tell you right now, you only want about 10 of the 10 milligrams is a perfect dosage size, so you can start easing into it. You want to like have small doses. So just like I said, low and slow. When you're out there, you cooking for people, you need to cook that like 2 days before and be your own guinea pig. You really need to. And it's easy to just to make a little sample size to get your taste right. And you need to spread that out. So if you have like a 3 or 4 course meal, you can't kick their ass with the whole damn course being freaking full. You're going to have a bunch of people comatose sitting around having one of them weed episodes instead of a nice, enjoyable evening. I would plan that evening out. So at the end of it, you'll be right about 50 milligrams, and you'll have a good 6 to 7 hours, and it need to be a variety, and you kind of got to put that together. So I'm definitely looking to get together with some people to put a couple menus together. Just be very careful, a little bit. It's a how many ways you can do this too. It's not just the oil extracts, because that's real easy. You could do sugar extracts with the, if you use the tinctures, that's like cooking it out with the grain alcohol or something over 110% alcohol content, and then you cook that down and you make you a nice little tincture. And with that tincture, you can spread that over sugar, and then you look at how many possibilities you got with that. But once again, you have to follow somebody's guideline when we talking about these edibles. Everybody just getting all of this weed and think they just gonna cook it down and make this and be good. You need to use somebody. Got a good buddy out the old crew, HNOTP. My man Reg Noble. He might be a master of that. I don't know nobody on the planet could eat more than him. But he's been doing it for a while, and it's different tricks to go about how you extract more or less out of that. And I hate to tell you people, all you people that's going over to Monroe County in Michigan, that's buying that $39 or two for $100 ounce, all that is a trim bag. All that bag was made for actually is to cook down edibles. And you will get a good source of edibles for that. And it will be better for your money than smoking all of that LARF. A lot of times you just smoking a lot of the chlorophyll and stuff. So, just be careful when you doing that. These new menus and these items is popping up. Just go low and slow. If you got the ability to add your THC afterwards, that'd be good. But it's good to see these events coming up. And I don't think we need to have overt weed parties. You just need to be cannabis friendly. So what I mean by that is, like, if people smoking cigarettes right out there, it should be outside away from the people. Just make a little lounge for them. Just be outside in the ropes, be cool to everybody. I'm trying to tell you, being around this plant for this long, I have met people that should not smoke weed. Mm-hmm. Every time they smoke weed, they get in jail trouble, or they get committed, they get a red card. If you don't know what a red card is, that's when you're having a mental episode and the police and the hospital can't handle you. They will send your ass off with a red card. You're going to get 3-4 days off. You ever said you were suicidal in this joint? You might know what a red card is. They will lock your ass up. And those people do not. And even if they do participate, they don't need the psychoactive part of THC. Cannabis is more than just getting high. You know, it's a lot of great properties that we are just now getting into. We are just now separating everything out. You have a seat problem, CBD in. You have an uptake problems of your nutrients, CBD G of all things. Who would have known? But that is just an additive that's getting made by the boatload by my buddies up in Ann Arbor, Michigan, made by farmers. I'm gonna be getting up there to see you guys. Shout out to my man John Lloyd up there on the farms. I'm coming up to pick up our gummies up here soon in the next couple of days too. We should have that next week. We'll have that's gonna be our giveaway next week. Is gonna be the made by farmers. Guess what? Their products are THC free. You'd be like, huh? Let me tell you the hottest seller over out the shop. THC free gummies. It's because everybody. I equate it like this. You want the benefits of not being all amped up and take the edge off, but you want to be present fully, especially say you was working in the environment, which I don't recommend, and you was around tow motors or somewhere that it was dangerous. You want to be relaxed, but you want to be completely aware. So the THC free stuff during the daytime is giving you all of those benefits, giving you some energy, maybe clarity if you on some sativa, clarity of thought, but you're not gonna get slumped. You're not gonna feel like I'm tired. You're not gonna go munchy crazy. I'm almost 100% sure that the THC in cannabis is what's going to give you the munchies, because when you have too much of it, that's when you try to eat it down. That is what the munchies usually is. The munchies usually mean you probably ingested a little too much past your dosage. Not saying you wasting it, but your body is probably happy. But you know, like all of us good potheads, man, we taking it well past that damn place, man. I done been past there on a regular. We're going to get to our first break, and we got some more information about cultivation coming up on our next break. We're going to hit the Puffco. We got some good wax in here. Shout out to Tuck and Roll. Shout out to the Voice of Radio. We got Al Porter's Hip Hop Show coming up next. We got a bunch of events to talk about. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. Don't forget to call in for any questions with 216-249-6650. Or if you got my personal cell phone, you can hit me up on my personal cell phone. We will be back right after this message on the Voice of Radio. Oh, let's get high. Next week, stay tuned for we're going to have scheduled right now. We got Mr. Soul from CST coming up next week. Mr. Soul just came off a great art show down in Atlanta. This brother is on the road doing it up big time, y'all. He has got it going on. Nah, he an artist. Yep. He over there. Man, he EP up at them $30,000, $40,000 paintings, bro. Getting them joints off from here in Cleveland. It's great art too. Oh, I broke that one. That's some damn shit. Ooh, I know what we got to smoke on. What the fuck was down here? Oh shit. Oh shit. We got some Superior. Oh, I'm talking to the kid. Talking about what dab we about to take. Where I see in Cuyahoga County. It is now crack cocaine, meth, and heroin. Any drug may contain fentanyl. If you use drugs, never use alone. Yeah, smoke with somebody. That's right. Call the Adams board. You know, here at the Sohigho station, if you need help, you get help. I'm trying to tell you, everybody ain't made for this shit. I thought I like to teach the world to sing in perfect harmony, give them all a Coca-Cola and a joint. I changed my mind on that. And you know them Christian people, them damn white pastors don't want you, they ain't gonna let you get high any damn way. They want you to give them that money any damn way. Yeah, you better get turned out on the Lord, even though the Lord did make this here plant for us. Shout out. Hey, man. Hey, where's my title sponsor? Hippie House. You getting up, man. I don't know what you be doing, bro. Talk to your brother Sharif over at Hippie House. I don't know, man. His brother seemed down, but he won't unask the money. I don't even know. Come on, man. We'll cut your sheet in for the first month. Welcome back to the voiceofradio.com. Sohigho Gas Copany. You caught me in the middle of dabbing. I'm running my mouth in between sets. Oh, I gotta get us the EP. Oh, that was good. Oh yeah. All right. Well, we're gonna talk about a little entertainment that came up this weekend. Not a whole lot to do with the cannabis plant, but it is a Cleveland story, so I'm all about that. My brothers, Valiant Mason and the Mason Five brothers, had a show. Don't mind him, he just got to get some water. They had a boxing match at Quebec, Canada this weekend, and was it outstanding as usual? I can't wait to get Abdul on the show one of these days because I definitely want to interview him. But it was just a great. If you haven't tuned in to the Mason Five, the Mason Brothers Boxing, MasonBrothers.com, Abdullah Mason on Instagram. They are on Top Rank Boxing. If you didn't see that fight, it's on Top Rank Boxing on YouTube. I'll see if I could leave a link into my bio or whatever and get you on that so you can check that out. But outstanding young man. I'm so proud of them because Abdul is my brother. That's so crazy. He's calling me right now too. I can't now. Yo, what's up, Aki? Yeah. Oh my God, I'm filming the got you on the podcast right now. I was gonna see if you wanted to come by. Man, it's going good, man. I just was telling everybody about how good y'all was doing this weekend and how proud Cleveland should be about you guys being local and doing your thing out here. And I'm just always so proud of you guys. I don't know if I feel like the uncle when Abdul is fighting. It's just always so exciting, bro. You guys back in town yet, or you back in town yet?
Yeah, we just got by yesterday. Just trying to get this next thing here. I think the brother have an event on the 25th somewhere.
Okay.
24th or something like that. His brother called me and said he had an event here.
Okay.
A few days going on in here right now.
Yeah, I'm pretty. It's a lot going on right now. It's a lot of art events. The DJs is really, the comedy is really high, and the music is pretty good. Like every week, it's something else going on for sure. So I heard you guys had another little announcement about something big coming up here in Cleveland next year.
That's what we're working on. It ain't nothing that's set up right now. We just keep pushing it.
Abdul.
You know what I'm saying?
Call him. We'll call him
He
on
can
the
say
line.
everything he wants.
Send me a standby
He
phone. I'm
just
about to
made
call him
it
back so
up.
people can really hear him.
Okay. Hey, could you hold on? Can I call you back? Yeah, can I call you back from the studio phone, please?
Oh, yeah.
All right. You guys number?
Nope.
Yeah.
Who was it?
Abdul Mason.
Daddy.
216 644 1964. This is live TV, baby. You can't get no better than this, man. This is how we do it. Good to do this. EP is about the dang best you ever seen. This.
Thank you for calling.
Oh my God. You better believe it. That's just how I will. Yeah. That's so cool, though. It is. You know, we get better every week over here at thevoiceofradio.com. My man EP is doing it up. Man, you don't even know how busy people be, man. But like I said, Mason Brothers, they did so good.
664-1964, right?
216. Oh.
664-1964.
Okay. 264-664-1964. Yeah. Yeah. I don't even know. Yeah, what's up, Aki? All right, big bro. Yeah. You just call back in when you're ready, bro. All right, peace to the family. Yeah, it was a great boxing match. Once again, he took his talent. I love it too because they was already an international family, and when we get them in here, we'll get a good interview with those guys because Abdul and his wife, who to me is like underrated and all this too, because just knowing a little bit about Abdul, what he tells me about them and how loving she is and the teacher that she is, it's just well represented with that family. You know, Abdullah is always just so humble, but just the fifth. I mean, he humble right till they ring that bell. And I'm so interested in them because they do not participate in the cannabis culture or community. And they are some great people. And I love seeing how that, and I would like to talk to them about some of the things they do and how they maintain their thing. But, me and I went around Cleveland and threw big parties with Under the Tree production back in the day. And I'm just always curious to see if he has anything to see about what he sees from his perspective and how he sees it. And it's totally unscripted. And we'll get his opinion about the plant and the legalization of it at all. And we always open for discussion and debate because some people, like I say, some people are not going to be with it. But this weekend, if you need to tune in, Top Rank Boxing on YouTube, it was a lot of people think it's the fight before here, which because it's not. But this time he fought a 30-year-old. I think he was out of Boston. He just trained with the world champion that got his belt. But the comparison was one of the dudes up on the ladder took him to 10 rounds, and they won a decision. And Abdullah, not saying this, not saying, you can't compare one fight against another fight, but comparatively, a common opponent can give you some insight into what they do it. So the guy that they was talking about, he took it to a 8 or 10 round decision. Really, it was over in the first round. 21 seconds left in the first round. He was on the mat. He kind of coasted in with about 11 seconds after the count to the second round. And just like he always do, just patience with the patience of Job or something, Job from the Bible. And it was two blinding jabs. And then you got to remember, that's a lefty. And he stuck a straight left down. I don't think the guy actually recovered. But let me tell you what that do, man. I mean, I be so excited from that. That is the day that I really don't smoke a lot because my adrenaline watching that boxing goes through the roof, man. It is just so exciting to see them. But he does have a lot of experience going doing promotions and things like that. And I'm just such a Cleveland homer, and that's my buddy. We definitely gonna get him out there. Now, there's some other things coming up. We was talking about over at Red Lion Tattoo, where we had a 420 party every year. We had the block party over there. We are going to be starting a tiny desk, and this week, Thursday on the 22nd, about 8 o'clock, we're gonna have. It's gonna be another. I say we. Yeah, I guess it is we. We are gonna do sip and draw again, which is just a great. If you never did that, if you never did the sip and draw, you should come over to the Red Lion Tattoo. Okay, we got a caller come in. Yeah, what's up, Baki? Oh, not too much, man. We got you over here on the Sohigho. I just was telling my little listeners about how's it been going for you with the boys and being from Cleveland, putting that out. Oh yeah, he probably I don't know. He can be. He might be. He might be on something. Who knows? That's a hard one.
Thank you for calling.
Yeah, that's just what we do. That's all right. So what we got coming up here on this Thursday is we got the drawing nights. It's every third Thursday. It'll be this Thursday at 8 p.m. to 12. Doors at 8. We'll start drawing at 9. Drinks and snacks is provided, and we do have like a outdoor smoking area out back so you can participate and not contaminate everybody's air. But we got a lot of things coming over with the Red Lion Social Club that's going to be starting up, and we're going to do what in essence will be some tiny desk type music artists coming through. I forgot that one girl's name. Chantelli will be first. And it's coming up. I'm definitely going to be filling y'all in with that. Me and Mecca Sunshine is going to be hosting those things. So it's going to be good. It's a lot. Like I said, I'm all down for going to the cannabis friendly type situations. Not to smoke everybody out, but just to enjoy myself and make sure I Uber myself home safe and sound. That don't be happening. But I be trying to be doing that. Other things going on, we got the Playmakers always down out of Columbus is always got plenty going on. I think Afro Man is coming up to the fairgrounds here very, very soon. I'm not sure if it's next weekend. It's the marijuana convention, and that's going to be interesting now that the law has changed. So like the last couple times we went it, if you didn't have a medical card, I don't know if you would be I don't know if you would could even smoke. I know you couldn't smoke. It was a lot of police there, but they was cool with me. They ain't mess with me at all. I don't even know. I guess because my hair, I never get too I don't never get sweated too bad, to be honest with you. You know, that's always something good for me. But we also got Junior Blessington. He'll be performing this weekend coming up, and it's a bunch. I know. Go visit my buddy over on 30th and Payne. We got Danny, and right when you come in through the front door off Payne, right over to the right, it's not Lucky Seven. I'll be forgetting the name of his store right there. But that is the most, I want to say, not the most popularized head shop in town. He sells a lot of things. Like if you a man and you having some problems, or lady, yo man ain't acting right, Man, he got all of them pills for all that. And also he has a large selection of head shop stuff over there. So 30th and Pain, DJ Danny is over there, always playing some good music over there. He will be performing today at let me see exactly where that one is at. He's gonna be at Revel Reserve today. Let me make sure it's gonna be over. I think it's over off Broadview, probably off Parma. To be honest with you, it's Rebel Reserve. He'll be starting up playing some music here, probably right when we getting off the air. He's gonna start up playing some little backdrop music. It's just I like to call it rare groove Chicago house music. It's got a real nice set, and that also is a smoke friendly place. You know, you gotta start seeking these places out. Please, like, leave every place that's like just cannabis friendly. We need like to start supporting these people, taking our dollars there, and just if they're gonna support us, we're gonna support them. You know, I'm not a big, I don't drink alcohol at all, but I will go in there and buy a couple Red Bulls or buy a shot or two for somebody to help support, just to keep the smoking lamp lit. I know the crowbar is off. You know, I tell people that all the time. Being here in Cleveland, whether you know it or not, the Gentlemen's Club here in Cleveland, shit, we've been smoking weed in there. I don't know since EP was like 16. No, since Crosses After Hours. Now, that's for real though. We've been able to smoke cannabis here. Um, Even though, I mean, to me, being around the country, Ohio been a pot state. What really is going to be interesting is the Browns Stadium. The Browns has got their preseason kicked off. Well, we did our last preseason game here. What was that? That was like last weekend, right? Yeah, that's what it was going on. It was a lot going on last weekend too, because we had the comedy show. The Browns was playing, and something else was happening because I was at another event trying to get over to the comedy show. I was leaving another event, and that's the reality of the cannabis product. Is short-term memory loss is a real thing. So we're gonna take our last break here. We're gonna come back with some great tips that we got from cultivation, some couple things that Ben over at the Community Growth Supply Store out in Chagrin Falls and blind bug cultivator. We came up with a couple little things, and I'll be happy to pass that information over to you after this next block. Thank y'all for tuning in to the Sohigho. We'll be right back after this. Man, my man was like, man, I ain't doing no interviews. I know him. I bet you he did, man. Oh man. God damn. Man. And if you're not a care member, this is your time to take the change. Over a million Ohio Medicaid members can't be wrong. It's your Medicaid, it's your choice. So choose a plan Ohioans trust. CareSource. Enroll now at caresource.com.
If you need an immigration attorney, there's one name you need to know: Margaret Wong and Associates. Visit them at inwong.com. That's inwong.com. Or give them a call at 216-566-9908. 216-566-9908. All right. Let me see who got.
Hey, check out Laura Collins' Empowerment Hour. That's me, Laura. Every Monday from 6 to 7 p.m. on Voice It Radio.
This is Al Porter Jr., the president of Black on Black Crime Incorporated. Fentanyl is the leading cause of death in Cuyahoga County.
Don't do that.
Powdered cocaine, crack cocaine, meth, and heroin. Any drug may contain fentanyl. If you use drugs, never use alone and carry Narcan in case of overdose.
That's right. Boy, if you overdosing off a damn pot, though, boy, slow your ass down. You got mental issues. You need to go to the hospital. You need to probably go lay on the couch for a little bit. It's probably got less to do. Man, can I get one driver? I need like more to make that grandiose or hundo. Man, it's like hard as hell getting this shit up. Next subscriber that I get off of YouTube, subscribe and come see me. I give you a joint, gummies. You gotta be over 21 years old. Shoot me an email at Sohigho Sohigho 216 at Gmail. And the first person to hit that box with the subscribe, I'm gonna get you. I'll probably give you the whole thing. Welcome back to the Sohigho Gas Company radio station. We're going to end up with our last block here. We're going to talk about some cultivation issues here. Not really issues, but it's just like you should be, by now, you should be then determine whether you're getting clones or seeds. It depends. And if you're new in this, just follow my advice is always it's so much information. Find somebody who has a grow that you like. Find somebody who grows the way you grow and just follow that one person and make changes to their system yourself. The last thing you want to do is be mixing 2 and 3 different people's idea till you get a grasp on what you're doing. And to me, I think they're allowing us to grow right now. I'm going to tell you right now, you need to know the genetics. Every genetics. I don't think I'm going to be able to tell you. Just like I say, low and slow with edibles, genetics and cultivation is everything. I don't think you're going to be able to really determine your growth style. Your growth style is going to change for every genetic, to me personally. Whole county seeds grow different than ethos, grow different than thug plug. I love all those. The royal dudes, I forgot what they name. They seeds all over there everywhere. And then like right now, you can go into almost every good head shop has got a pack of seeds in there. And a lot of times what you could catch in those places is you could catch something that grew good. Can be out there and you see Cali Octane from the Humboldt Seed County, and it's an older seed, get that mug, man. And if you see proven known, and you see those sitting in your head shop, buy them joints, man. Them things should put them up for 5 years. The strain is going to change, and then people going to want to come back and pop a seed off of those things. So the seed game and then the cultivation is going very good. You guys should be, a lot of you people should be about ready to harvest. Everybody who put their plants out there about May 21st after that first frost was over with, you guys should be about ready to chop down and hang. And I'm interested in seeing different people's strain. What I see a lot of with the temperature variation is it seemed like the bud density was a little bit down. But when we talking like that, it is not like you cannot treat your plant like it's an indoor plant. Like if you felt like you need to add a bud hardener to it, and bud hardener, what I mean by that is just like it's just really a fancy form of backstrap molasses, some type of sugar content to feed the dirt. Seems like that's what's hardening it up even more than dropping the temperature. It's a lot. A lot of people say dropping the temperature is good for the trichome development, but then adding that bud hardener in it at the end is what's tightening those buds up and getting it. And that's really nothing. I think the ratio is like 1:0.4 or something like that on the NPK chart for most of that bud hardener stuff. But, look up online. Once again, if you have a nutrient brand that you are using, I would stick with them. Humboldt Seeds, to me, did the best out of Gaia Green. Hands down. Gaia Green, if I felt like I needed to add some type of amendment to it, I went straight to the Fox Farm. I know a lot of people like, if you really truly want to grow on a budget, which I'm all the way about, you can do this. Like you can go with coffee grounds and regular dirt from outside, you know, add bone meal. You can go eat a crab dinner and ground up the crab shells, get a certain amount of calcium, magnesium from that. It is a lot of ways to go about getting to where you got on getting to a good product with the budget you have. Like the outdoor season right now. If you balling on a budget, you should have, and you are over 21 years old, you should have some plants in your backyard. Shit, the seed, I give you a seed if you was gonna willing to sex it. So that's a regular seed. That's a seed that you don't know whether it's a boy or a girl, basically, and you have to wait till it grow. Now, what came up this week was pretty tripped out. The Blind Bud Cultivator. Shouts out to James Brown. Check out his YouTube channel too. He's doing very good, and he's been on our show. He was on our show. If you look back through the archive, that show was a show where I think Baby Boy had some problems with his family, and then EP was out of town that weekend too, so we was without but it was one of our better interviews, especially about cultivation. So he called me up on probably yesterday, Sunday or yesterday. He called up and he had the plant is growing. It's from a clone already, and already he started going into flower or bud. So you out of their tent, you done switch your plants over to 12 and 12, and they are starting to grow. And you start seeing the little white thistles on your stalk. You start to see the little popcorn, the formation of buds. And underneath it, it was two pods, like two balls, which you just don't want to see. When you first section a plant, if you see those, that means it's a male. So it'll be just stuck right on, it'll be like stuck right on the side of the stem. And it'll be like, for you on the thing, it'd be like on either side, it'll be like a ball like that. And it would look like a seed is in the middle of it. But guess what that is? That is actually a pollen sac in most cases. But in this case, it came from a clone. So what could that be? And I knew it had happened before. I grew a plant called jealousy, and jealousy just grew like that. I mean, it just seemed like was the formation of the leaf plant, just seemed to imitate that. So we was like, what do I do? Because it looked like I just got my female turned into a hermaphrodite, and it's gonna pollinate my whole garden. Come to find out, I called up Ben over at the community grow supply store in the Chagrin, the Cuyahoga Falls hemp company, and I was like, "You ever seen this before?" I shot him over a picture, and it's called a callus. And what a callus is it's just two sacs that look like that, and when you squeeze them, you can tell the flavor of the plant. It's very aromatic, and it's but it is not pollen. I was like, man, most people would, and I bet you in the past, a lot of people done chop that down. So when you are taking an older clone, and what that is, that's what I said, about 6 generations away from the seed, the DNA start wearing out. So what the plant is trying to do is say, okay, I have to survive. So even though that's a female plant, in its bid to survive, it's gonna almost act like a male. And when it try to go into survival mode to like reproduce itself, it makes these things called calluses. And I believe it's calyces. It's more with a K, Kelics. And it's those two balls, and it would look like back in the day when you had a little pod and you'll pop a seed out of. It looks like the female thing of a seed, but it's not. It's just the older plant, and it is trying to survive with all it has. But those are not dangerous to your garden. And I just can only imagine how many people just got rid of so many plants, probably half their garden, because they were like, oh, I popped a hermaphrodite. I might have ruined my garden. And I'm telling you from actual experience, growing out jealousy, which did the same thing. I said, there's no way, because that was a feminized auto seed and it was nothing else around it. And I just was like, it ain't no seed in it and it ain't no pollen sac, because I squeezed it and it was soft. But I didn't do the deep dive. I probably was just too high. But James had called up and found what that is. So thanks, Ben, for dropping that information on there. So when you get an older plant, older clone, and after you got bud, if you look down a couple nodes and you see those pods, that does not necessarily mean that plant hermaphrodite. It just means that plant is doing what a plant do. A plant has only one thing to really do is reproduce. It's just going to do whatever it can to reproduce. And you got a female who's been by herself. Just think about her being lonely. She probably going to start taking care of herself somehow. And then that analogy, that's where those calluses come from. And they are nothing but just like it's like the pod of where the pollen would be at, but it's no pollen in there. So keep growing that plant all the way out. And really what that is, a lot of people, when what Ben said is, you really want to see that happen. Because when you see those on the plant, it's almost like that plant is going to make a lot of fruit, which means a lot of buds, because it's in survival mode. That's a healthy stress if you know what you're doing for a plant to increase the production. So you got an older clone, you got it like that. I'm doubling down on that plant right there. If I saw that, I'm cutting clones off of that, and I'm probably want to do as many as legally possible. I want to grow that plant because you got it where it's about to just drip a whole bunch of fruit. Your yield off a plant like that might be incredibly high for when you see that. So it's called a callus, and it is not a hermaphrodite. If you need some information, just look us up. You can send it over to Sohigho216 @gmail. I'll answer any of your questions, and in my little circle of gromies, I definitely try to get that information over to you. One other thing I like to get before we get out of here on the cultivation is if you guys are running solution into your cocoa cure. So you basically like you growing almost hydroponically, but you adding water into that dirt medium. So you got the cocoa core and you go in there, say you running a Athena. Favorite, but I would rather go Cincy Grow myself personally. But say I'm running Cincy Grow or Athena, and I mix my reservoir of nutrients up at the beginning of the week. What you want to do now in veg, and I need some more people to get with me on this, is start diluting. So for every 1,000 milligrams of solution that's already mixed, you should get a 5-gallon bucket and mix that down when you're in veg. What we want to do in veg is make a big plant, not so much dry the nutrient. And I cannot believe that my good buddy Ben has came to this awareness, because he drove the plant hard. He drives the plant hard and he gets great results. But now, even with the evolution and us keep doing it, he's backing that down. So if you're diluting that, it's not going into the plant anyway. I'm gonna tell you why, because Ben is that type of grower where he measures his overflow. So your overflow is after you water, you suck up what's out of it, and you see how much nutrients is taken up. Not to be all in the it's called the EC, and that's the electrical connectivity. So you can see how many parts per million of your nutrients are left in your runoff water. So if you taking samples like that and taking that, he just felt like all his nutrients wasn't going up. So why waste them when you could dilute that water? So you want to add RO, and then you add part of the solution. The thing that you have to do when you add that back into that 5-gallon bucket is you need the pH balance that back out. The pH perfect to me, and Ben, a lot of the new nutrients is pH perfect. I know I'm in the weeds for some of you new growers, but pH perfect means you don't have to, the pH balance is already set by the chemicals and whatever you're using. It's this stuff called pH perfect. It revolutionized stuff. So it takes slower when you dilute into the 5-gallon bucket, but you want to use that diluted solution in your veg. So for every 1,000 milligrams, which is a good liter of nutrient water, you're gonna add another 1,000 milligrams per. It's like 1-in-1 with the reverse osmosis water. And then when you get off in the veg, you just probably go ahead and dry that 3 or 4 times a day. Once again,
shout out to MRD Body Oils and Midday Smoke Shop.
Oh, shout out to MRD Body Oils and Midday Smoke Shop. Appreciate y'all for tuning in. What's up, Kia?